Welcome to Morning Journal session number 406. I'm your host, Jared. I appreciate you for taking some time with me this morning. All right, so today's conversation is going to be about growth and the evidence of growth that we can see in our lives. The prompt is, what is possible for me today that didn't seem possible 3 years ago? What's possible for me today, now, that didn't seem possible 3 years ago? So maybe that window, the time window, 3 years, isn't the appropriate time window. Maybe you need to broaden, maybe it's 5 years. Everybody's growing at a different pace, and we grow at different paces depending on the phase of life that we're in. So choose a window of time that makes the most sense to you. See if you can consider ways that you've grown and your capabilities and your capacity has changed. Maybe there's something that you can do now that you don't think you could have done a few years ago. Sometimes the growth is in the development of skills. Sometimes the growth is in understanding of ourselves and what it is that truly matters to us. So that sense of possibility is the result of the ways that we have grown over the course of time. And it's important to acknowledge that, because sometimes we feel like we're stuck in place until we take a moment to really take stock of the new things that are available to us, that are within the realm of possibility, perhaps even within the realm of comfort. Maybe you might have been able to barely scrape through or barely accomplish something occasionally years ago, and now you can do it with ease. It's second nature to you. So we're going to be looking at ways that we have grown, new capabilities that we have incorporated. So for Yuri in the chat over here, I think it's possible for me now to talking to people. 10 years ago, I couldn't imagine working at my local grocery store and being good at it. So you have sort of grown in your social capacity and your ability to engage a level of comfort in talking to people. Maybe you were a little withdrawn before, and now you feel like you can operate and navigate those community situations, being in public, interacting with folks. For Madam C Madness over in the chat, she says, being a corporate manager, didn't see yourself being in the corporate world, and also being seen as normal when your identity before, or the way that you've seen yourself, is as an outsider. So another response from T Mizzle, what's possible now that wasn't possible 3 years ago is being able to meditate for an extended period of time. And I'm pretty sure that is the type of thing, the type of activity that brings a lot of benefits in other areas. You know, it creates that pause. It creates a place for you to go. All right, so let's take a look at our next prompt. Our first prompt kind of looked back, gave us an opportunity to think about the growth that we've seen, the possibilities that have arisen for us. Now, this is going forward. What do I intend to accomplish that is challenging but significant? Challenging and significant. Since change is possible, I might as well put it to work in a way that makes sense. Might as well do it on purpose, right? So what do you intend to accomplish? What direction do you intend to grow? Maybe not with what you've learned so far, but just with the fact that you know you can learn. Not based on where you are right now, but based on your awareness that from wherever you are, you can go somewhere else, or you can get somewhere that's significant and important to you. So the ways that we've changed in the past, the growth that we've had in the past might have been reactionary. We might have been placed in a situation that required something different of us. We kind of showed up there on accident, and we adapted because that's sort of what we do. We adapt to things, but you don't necessarily have to wait to be acted on to put yourself in a position where growth can happen. You can decide to take on challenges that are designed to take you to a new place, that are designed to create some growth. So in the request box, I'm trying to change my career. I intend to change my career. It's going to be challenging, but changing the career, a change of career is a significant change. Our occupation occupies so much of our life and our time and our energy. So making a change to find something that is more suited for you, opens up more possibilities for you, that is challenging and it is significant. And it does require work. But I trust that you're willing to put in that work. So Yuri in the chat says, I want to start a publishing company that focuses on sapphic stories. That is an interesting challenge. There is the doing the work, and there's also sourcing the work, finding others, building community. You know that you have that capacity to engage with people, and that's an important first step. There's something powerful about making intentional choices to move you in a direction on purpose. There is a cashier at Royal Farms, one of Royal Farms that I used to frequent. And whenever you checked out, he would say, "All right, have a good day on purpose." So, all right, man. I look forward to that. Every time I got my little box of chicken or whatever it was, he would always give you that encouraging word. Have a good day on purpose. Madam C Madness says, writing much more this year. I'm gonna need to set goals with numbers. Yeah, sometimes our intentions can be vague, just kind of wistful possibilities until we put some structure around it. A lot of times, the word intention, as it's commonly used, falls into a category of phrases that seem kind of light and airy and abstract. Intention has a spiritual connotation, but it also required some structure if it actually is going to propel you forward. It's good to know what your steps are, right? If the goal is to write more, how are you going to set your life up, set your structures up to allow for that to happen? In Yuri's case, you got some studying to do, some things you need to learn, and some people that you need to meet. You got to get out there. It's good to know at least the first step in what it is you're trying to accomplish. Sometimes um we fool ourselves. We anticipate easy progress, and then we don't have the structure in place to allow us to get through the challenges. So getting some clarity on those next steps, having the structures in place to support that intention, that is the path to doing something that's significant and challenging. So the accomplishment for Kaloli is staying consistent in my current project so I can build credibility in a new role. So you have an opportunity in front of you, right? So you have an opportunity, and you recognize the ramifications or the opportunity, the doors. You recognize the doors that can be opened by establishing that credibility. So stay on it. All right. So let's do a quick recap. Um, the conversation has been about growth. We examined it with the first prompt, looking at examples of our progress over time, something that's possible now that may not have been possible for you 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever your pace of growth may be. Identifying, finding examples, finding proof that you are capable of growth, you are capable of change. So you had an opportunity to identify that, Second half of the conversation is about looking forward at our intentions. How are we going to harness that belief or that proven understanding that growth is possible? How are we going to harness that to accomplish something that's significant to us, that may require some sacrifice, may require overcoming and dealing with some challenges? What does that look like for us? What do we intend to accomplish? All right, so I guess that about does it for session number 406. Thank you so much, everyone, for stopping through and participating in the conversation, and I hope you have a wonderful day.